G'day and a good evening, everyone. Welcome to ASRNZ's official coverage of the 2022 DLC GT4 Cup. We are on round 4. We're at Laguna Seca and we are in Ferraris tonight. I'm Davo. Normally I'd introduce my learned colleague and wingman, but we are flying a solo tonight, everyone, so please stay tuned, viewers. All you'll be hearing is Davo talking to Davo, answering Davo, so it's going to be some fun, and of course watching these guys is always fun. Like I mentioned, we are at Laguna Seca tonight for round 4. It's a standard sprint round. I'll quickly thank ABC Tech and Superior Joint Sealing, obviously, for all their continued help. And we'll just have a quick jump to the track, I think, because I think the boys have actually gone out for qualifying. And we'll just jump back to this points board while the guys grid up. So, like I mentioned, I am Davo, flying solo tonight. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Look, and we're at Laguna Seca in Ferraris tonight. This should be good. Again, I watched a little bit of pre-race practice. And again, we have the likes of Jake McKellar, John McDonald, Jeff Burst, and Nick McIndoe, also Mudgee, just rising to the top of the board there and really showing their form. We know McKellar and McIndoe have been going toe-to-toe, not only in the GT4s but in the GT3 season as well. So these guys, they are on fire at the moment, top of their game. So we expect, Davo expects to see that. Thank you, viewers. You'll get sick of this after a while. Look, we'd expect these guys to really, shine again here tonight at Laguna Seca. Totally different track to, most tracks. Laguna Seca, crazy corkscrew. Probably the highlight of the track is the mad corkscrew section. The elevation drop is rapid. It's on par with Bathurst, and really can get the cars a little squirrely and can come unstuck pretty damn easily. Just quickly seeing some times coming across at the moment. We've got Mudgee just taking out the top position, and then it was Aztec. Look, this is going to move pretty quickly, and obviously with only one set of eyes on the track tonight, it might be limited coverage, but the commentary will be, as usual, epic. So welcome aboard, everyone joining us on Twitch. Unfortunately, I can't keep an eye on my Twitch chat, so feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I know there's a couple of boys watching tonight, but here we are, Laguna Seca. McDonald to the top of the board. I know John in his traditional gold splashed, a little bit of splash of gold, always for John McDonald. Ferrari tonight. I know he's done some practice through the week, and it's starting to show straight away. Others to watch, Nick McIndoe again with that traditional or trademark little bit of a green splash on the back of the car, a little bit of green metallic. Always Nick McIndoe. Jake McKellar in the golden black puts it to the top with a fantastic 1:26.225. Only very slightly in front of John McDonald. McIndoe not too far behind. So as we expected, you know, the cream is obviously going to rise to the top here. These boys well on form currently. A few extra names in the room tonight, which is awesome. We haven't seen a lot of at the end of the GT3s, and obviously here is Aztec, and I think it was Damien Jones actually too, who is doing a lot of away work in real life. Always a tough gig for these guys to get this little bit of you know, pleasure time in. So Ashley Vediger just also in his traditional golf inspired livery, making all of these cars look fantastic actually with his colour schemes. Well done, taking a late lap with only 40 seconds to go on the clock actually. Not too far. He will probably get one shot at Aztec actually. Just I must note has just snipped into 4th position with a 26.605, so staying well in touch with the top 3. Jeff Burst with a 27.7, so that's back a little bit. Mudge away, already got the car back in the pits by the looks of it with a 27.3. Not a bad time actually. Aaron Enright in 7th, currently Steve Melling 8th. 9th is Vaughan Martin, Troy Wilson and Brad Robinson still out on. Actually Brad Robinson a little bit up on his time, maybe one to watch. We'll just focus on that a little bit, improving slightly again. Brad really making a fantastic showing last week in the Lamborghinis. Has been some epic racing over the past couple of rounds. Round 2 at Suzuka in the Porsches, particularly close up the pointy end, and again last week in the Lamborghinis at Zolder, fantastic racing. So yeah, been some really good close stuff, as you would expect with same class racing as we are doing. One make racing is always the best, as we just see Brad Robinson coming round. This will be his final. Puts the car in 10th, or keeps it in 10th. There we go. We've got a couple of guys. Aaron Enright's already finished. Brad Robinson's in. Okay, so that looks like about it. That gives us a leaderboard at the moment with Jake McKellar with a 126.225 on the top. John McDonald not that far behind, 0.10, and it's 7 seconds behind. So Nick McIndoe in 3rd. We expected these 3 to be up the top. Aztec in 4th, Jeff Burst 5th, Mudgy in 6th, Aaron Enright in 7th, Steve Melling 8th, Vaughan Martin in 9th, Brad Robinson in 10th, Troy Wilson, Bobby Laycock and Damien Jones and Ash Vedicar rounding out the 14 cars on track tonight. So let's get back to those points, hey, and just have a quick sticky beak. So, like I've already mentioned, these guys have just literally come from the GT3 season with Jake McKellar obviously cleaning up there, and they brought that form with them into this GT4 season. John McDonald now back in the race after a quick stint in the commentary box, mind you. So he's just getting back in the car and getting sorted. He's snuck in there between Jake and Nick McIndoe with the points. But like I mentioned, the racing has been so damn close. Look at 2nd and 3rd position. John McDonald and Nick McIndoe equal well, what I would call equal second position with both on 209. Hence, we are showing 11 positions tonight on the leaderboard. Jeff Burse, next one off the grid, 176, and then we got 168, 160, 156, 155, 154, 153 and 149. So the points are close, and if you will notice there is actually 2 AM drivers snuck into that leaderboard as well out of those top 11 drivers. So we've got Vaughan Martin, who is theoretically in, well, pretty well 6th, as it shows there. AM driver, well done, Vaughan Martin. You know, really put himself in amongst a bunch of top steerers there. Really well done. Steve Melling and Kenny Simpson, obviously Pro-Am, consummate mid-packers. These guys are always there. They're always there, keeping the fast guys honest, and never too far away from the pro points. And another AM driver, Bobby Laycock, the famous Bobby Laycock, getting himself up towards the pointy end of the field. So good work, Bob Laycock. Let's have a look here what's going on. Looks like the boys getting the cars on track. Pit crews are leaving. The girls and the flags and everything are getting taken down. I think we are getting close to, I just heard the 30-second call, so we're getting close to the formation lap here at Laguna Seca in the Ferraris tonight. 20 seconds to go. Let's try and get some footage to you guys. Again, Davo driving solo tonight, so she's a big bus to drive. So bear with me. It'll be fantastic. Okay, here we are as the Ferraris roll away for their formation lap. 14 cars on the grid tonight. We're at Laguna Seca for the 4th round of the DLC GT4 Cup. Already mentioned the racing the last couple of rounds has just been epic. Suzuka was amazing in the Porsches. Big Porsche fan, but the boys loved the Porsche. It really brought them together close, and the top 3 just crazy. Second race was literally throw a blanket over the top 3 for the whole race. And even at Zolder, very technical, difficult little track in the Lamborghinis, we still saw some super close racing right down to the wire, and not only at the pointy end, but right through the field. So, yeah, some pretty cool stuff going on. Laguna Seca, viewers, epic track. I will be honest, not a big fan, but still, you know, just an epic track to drive. And when you get it right, it is very rewarding. Doesn't look much on paper, but it is technical, and given the elevation change, well, you can't see that on paper. So, you know, the elevation change at the corkscrew, as we see the boys just roll through there now, is pretty epic. You know, well up there with the likes of Bathurst coming down the mountain. Boys already started grid up quite early, actually. Here, they're just coming out of the corkscrew. Just give them a moment here before they get round to the final hairpin. Okay, I'm going to need a quick swig of my drink here because I'm going to be doing all the talking tonight, and these boys are just about to go green. We have Cameras on, Helicam, John McDonald. First row, we've got green round 4. John McDonald just totally messes up the start. He's just been swamped by Aztec and Nick McIndoe. Very clean start from all. Down into the hairpin. Very excuse me, I'm already tripping over my words. Very tricky little double apex corner. Tightens up all the way through. And then a series of right-handers, which are all slightly different, but some really good vision coming out of the Helicam at the moment. I think that is Jeff Burse, I can see just in the background there, a little bit sideways in behind the privateer car of, is that Mark Mudgeway. So very tidy start from all actually. As they run up the hill towards the corkscrew, and this is when it can all change as the board through. Nicely done, all very, very first lap. Very measured start from everyone, plenty of room given, nice disciplined stuff. Unless I've missed something out the back, people, which is highly likely because I've only got one set of eyes here. Here we are, over for the first lap. Jake McKellar leading the race with Nick McIndoe. These guys have been inseparable for months, literally months in their racing. Aztec took advantage of John McDonald's bad start and has popped himself up into third position. He could quite well hold that position. Tenacious driver, and has taken that opportunity and grabbed it with both hands. That will be a battle to watch. The rest of the field filing through. And everybody very orderly, viewers. Surprisingly so. We've got a little bit of gap between everybody. I say we just focus on the Vaughan car, and we see the Castrol car Melling ranging right up behind us as they drop into the corkscrew, and you can see that elevation out of the back of Vaughan Martin's car. Crazy downhill drop. They're still heading downhill all the way down to this right-hander. It is all downhill. You can look back there and see that elevation drop. Amazing track. Easily comparable to Bathurst. We go for the second lap there. Jake really taking it and moving forward. And then Nick, with a few car lengths behind it, is really having to keep the rest of the pack at bay. And now he's got Aztec and John McDonald and Mudgy and Jeff Burns all lining up to have a crack at the back of that green Ferrari at the moment. And yeah, even the slightest mistake will see him potentially lose a position or some. So he want to keep that together and keep it really tight. But as we see Jake McKellar just drop into that crazy corkscrew, takes advantage. Nick was a little bit awkward as he dropped into the right hand. Aztecs immediately put pressure on him. So Nick suffered from that little tiny mistake, and then Aztec, as he yielded a little bit because of Nick's little faux pas, he's got John McDonald right behind him, and we did see a little incident. We will go back actually, see if we can just pick that up. In the hairpin, I think it's actually John McDonald here as he ranged up the outside, and here we see it here at the outside into the hairpin with Aztec. We've got Mudgy on the inside. Oh, and just leans just slightly on the back to John McDonald's car. puts Jeff Burse in a prime position to take that position as they run down to turn 1. Jeff Burse didn't make the move on McDonald, but he did claim the white privateer car of Mudgee. Oh, as we see Burse off on the outside, heading up the hill. Not sure what happened there. It almost looked like aero wash. I think the camera boys are onto this one as well. Just have a quick look at this. Out of the back of McDonald's car. Oh! Looked like he missed his brake marker badly and pretty well took evasive action. So not to make contact with the McDonald car. So very lucky stuff actually from Burse and McDonald not to come together there on that particular corner. Fairly high speed, and just at the rate, the difference in the car speeds there would have had seen both of them around and off track. So well done from Burse to got that sorted, as we see a flurry of cars into the pits, and we're just watching this as the boys come out. That is Aztec, one of those cars. It looks like it might have been actually Mudgee in as well. A painfully long bloody pit exit here at Laguna, as we see Aztec. Looks like Steve Melling, Ashley Vigor. And I think the last one was Jeff Burse, who might have just got a bit of a tyre on the grass on the way in, way out. But all of those guys taking that pit stop early. Just pop back up to the front, just see where that has equalised. And it's really just given, I suppose, Jake McKellar and Nick McIndoe a bit of breathing space. Now these guys will concentrate on their times now. They want to hit their marks, you know, and just get the times down right. They've got all the track in the world. They don't need to worry about any pressure unless they get someone just popping out of a pit lane and just getting in a mark. John McDonald, one of those drivers as well, not too far behind. Now he stayed out, although still in touch with McIndoe, well back from him after a little bit of a run with Mudgee there. So doing pretty well. Everything else looking very orderly. We have Aaron Enright actually picking up the fourth position behind John McDonald. Well done, Aaron. And a beautiful looking Italian-inspired paint job there. Vaughan Martin has done exceptionally well too. Sitting in fifth at the moment. Still yet to pit. Brad Robinson, who we saw last week do a stellar job in the Lamborghini, just dropping into the corkscrew. Awesome work. Troy Wilson in seventh. Bobby Laycock in eighth. Now, from there on, we have Mudgee, Aztec, Steve Melling, Ashley Pettigar, Jeff Burse. They've all pit stopped. Oh, and while I just talk about pit stops, I see Mudgee's got a drive-through and Aztec's got a stop-go. So, the mistakes have been made. Which is, we have seen, oh God, this manual pit lane speed limiter has really a cat amongst the pigeons for the last two seasons. The GT3 season to start off with, and now into this GT4 season. These guys have really been working on their entries. Oh, there's still mistakes, viewers. There's still mistakes getting made. Great for us up here in the commentary box. It really does throw another aspect into the race. Look, they work so hard in their pit stops to make a second, even just a few tenths that they are. It's so difficult to make out on track. And yeah, a mistake like that really does just throw all that hard work out the window. So yeah, tough gig for both Aztec with the stop-go 30 and Mudgy with a drive-through. So drive-through might indicate a corner, exceeding a corner. Track limits. But yeah, not quite sure. I would suspect so. So here we are. 10 minutes, over 10 minutes into this race. It just flies. It's amazing. Got 14 cars out on track. Aztec's already taken his 30-second penalty. Mudgy's still waiting to do his drive-through. Now we have the next set of pit stops, actually Mudgy being one of them, running his drive-through penalty. That's just a roll-through straight away. We also, Damien Jones actually didn't start the race, so his Ferrari is still sitting there on the jacks with the pit crew spectating at the moment. Let's get back up to pointy end. Let's see where Jake McKellar has taken this Ferrari with clean air, viewers. He's got no pressure from behind. He's got no one in front of him. Oh, what do I see there? Is that John McDonald past Nick McIndoe? Was it? It is too. Well, we've missed that one, viewers. Maybe a little bit of a mistake from Nick McIndoe allowed the black and gold car of John McDonald, unless I've got everything wrong. I'm sure McIndoe was in front, leading away with Jake McKellar, so something's gone awry there. Still, neither of these guys, none of this top group of cars has pit stopped. We've got pit stops up to Steve Melling, who is currently in 6th. Let's have a look. We've actually got Vaughan Martin in the pits at the moment. Mudgy's already out, but yes, Mudgy's out. Awesome. So no penalties showing at the moment. Fort Martin's still sitting on the jacks. Is there a problem with Martin's car? Does he have a connection? Oh, he's backing that car up and he drives away. Has that pit stop cleared? It looks as though it has. Will he come out without a penalty? Okay, so good, clean pit stop, although very, very long for Martin. That will not do his race any good. He was actually in a fairly good mid-pack position there, ready to pounce on any mistake in front of him. Now, the game has changed. McDonald, although past Nick McIndoe, doesn't seem to have been able to stretch away from him, so makes me think that it was more of a mistake from Mr. McIndoe than it was, you know, an attacking move from John, because John just, his car doesn't actually look any more quicker than Nick's car, so both pushing very hard to keep up with the McKellar car. Who is close? This is the Ashley Rediger Steve Melling battle. Melling getting all sorts of pressure from Ashley Rediger. Look how smooth Ash is in this car. Beautiful to watch. As I just take a quick drink, viewers. Up towards the corkscrew. And like I said, look at how silky smooth Ashley Vettiger is on that wheel. Talking as we see Ash just getting a touch on the back of Melling's car. It actually puts them both off. That was unfortunate because I think that's actually Jeff Bird that's just snuck in there. We might just go back and have just a quick sticky beak at what was going on there. Now Jeff Burst not too far behind here, and I'm sure Ash was feeling the blowtorch. Just gets in maybe a little bit of a glance in the mirror to see where Jeff was, and then all of a sudden he's in the back of Melling's car. Burst just says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that." and drives around the both of them and puts himself into sixth position behind Laycock. Burst, one of the I suppose he's the leading pit stopped car at the moment. So in front of him is Bobby Laycock, Brad Robinson, Nick McIndoe, John McDonald and Jake McKellar. None of those are pitted as we see Ashley takes a big dive into the corkscrew, and this is so easily done. Has he lost a position there? I think so. See if the cameras have picked it up. Let's have a bit of a sticky beak. We'd love to have a look back at these and just analyse what the hell's going on here as we see Ashley's car up towards the corkscrew. It was actually Jeff Burst. Sorry, excuse me, Jeff Burst in front of there. Just putting the Ferrari into all-wheel drive and just trying to get through the sand for the first part of the corkscrew. How tractable are these cars? They're amazing. They can just go anywhere. It's like, why isn't Ferrari built an SUV? Everybody else has. You know, Lamborghini, Porsche, the Jaguar. Anyway, enough of that malarkey. Let's get back to the racing. We will quickly pop up the top. Just run through this field. We've got Jake McKellar well out in front, down into T1, tricky little corner, doing really well, really stretching speed. Behind him, John McDonald and Nick McIndoe, should I say. Been pretty well inseparable. Now, there's something went on there a few laps ago, and McDonald now, we got Brad Robinson in behind, Bobby Laycock in fifth, unpitted as well still. Now, the pitted cars, Jeff Burst leading that field, so he'll be one to watch. Steve Belling in seventh, Ashley Vettiger in eighth, Mudgee in ninth. Mudgee's had a tough run. Aaron in Troy Wilson and Aztec in 12th position. Vaughan Martin rounding out the 13. As we know, Damien is obviously unable to get that Ferrari cranked over for the race, so just sitting this out at the moment in the pits. The big, I think, is still this Melling Ashley Vettiger battle. It's been on for the past few laps with Jeff Burst involved as well, so Jeff just got a little bit of a stretch on him now and probably got a little bit of breathing space. Not a lot at all. Anything could go wrong here. We saw him the lap before go straight ahead here at the top of the hill at the corkscrew. I bet he won't make the same mistake again. Definitely not. As Belling goes, has half a lose in front of Ashley Vettiger. Vettiger, no chance to miss that. He just jumps on it straight away. Nick McIndoe just quietly is on his way out of the pits. Who else? We've got Bobby Laycock and Brad Robinson in the pits. There you go. Let's just keep an eye on what's going on here. Viewers, this is where it all changes. This is where the game changes. Look, we're down to 10 minutes to go. These are awesome pit stops. There you go, McIndoe out clean stop. Awesome work from Nick. Brad Robinson out. Oh, probably exceeding the pit limit a little bit over the line. Not too bad. Is he going to get that car in front of Mudgee? No. Slips in just behind it. Who else? Bobby Laycock. The famous Bobby Laycock running down. He will be watching that mirror. Who's behind Bobby Laycock as he comes around this, like I said, painfully slow. Oh, it's so long, the pit straight. the pit entry exit here. The pit entry is so bloody short, it's dangerous. McDonald in the pits, on the jack. But the pit exit, super, super long. That's the Dave Jones car actually, just quietly rolling out of the pits. Just got to pick up on this McDonald car. We look over the back wing of McDonald's car here. There is another car coming. Who will this be? This will be the McIndoe car, surely. As the cameras head to the helicam. John making fantastic gain in the pits. And really, really stretched that lead on McIndoe. Something that he could not do on track. Really struggled on track to actually stretch any sort of a gap on McIndoe at all. And then here you are with McDonald, and his pit stops have been faultless. Oh, this series so far, and makes a massive gain. Jake McKellar in. Here we go. Look how short, look how tight that pit entry is. Got to get the car right down. Got to get it slowed down. Got to get it slowed down just so you don't get a penalty. But if you don't slow it down, you're in that wall. Here we go. Jake McKellar. I don't think he has any threat. He had a fantastic lead on McDonald and McIndoe. As we look over the back wing, perfect view of the oncoming cars. That does look like McDonald's car and the McIndoe car behind it, but look at this, up the speed already. They're coming in. They're hot, but still, look at that gap. Nice work. Nice work from Jack. So good, clean, no penalty pit stops from the top five. Done really well. As everything's equalised there, now you can see that Jeff Burse and Ashley Vettiger have moved into 4th and 5th. Steve Melling in 6th. Mudgee in 7th. Brad Robinson in 8th. Brad doing an exceptional job the last couple of rounds. Aaron Enright in 9th. I suppose the most that it's suffered is probably Aztec a little bit. He went backwards from being, I think, initially in 3rd position early in the race. I might have had a bit of a tip, and Bobby Laycock's gone back a little bit, maybe with a slow pit stop. But, mate, what a race so far. No major pressure, nothing super exciting as we saw with the Lamborghinis and the Porsches the week before. Lamborghinis last week at Zolder were fantastic, but not quite the epic race as that. But still, these guys always playing for the win. The pit stops are always a bit of a lottery, especially with the manual pit limiter we currently use in ACC. Always fantastic racing here at ASRNZ. 14 cars on track tonight. We must thank ABC Tech for all our service and for keeping ASR online on the internet so you guys can find us, forums, servers and the like. TS, you name it. ABC Tech are the guys for ASRNZ, and obviously Superior Joint Sealing, SJS, for continued support as always, for all racing here at ASRNZ. Thanks for all the viewers tonight that are watching. Pit windows now closed, just quietly. And if you don't catch us on Twitch Live, always catch up later on with the footage on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. Mate, we're everywhere. Just go and have a look. You'll find us. So nice, tidy race. Really measured race from all, and we saw it immediately, I think, in the first lap. Just the whole body language from everybody in the first lap. It's very tidy. There was room between all the cars. Not a little bit of an elbow, a little bit of a hip and shuffle there, here and there, but very, very tidy stuff. Very disciplined from all. Awesome respect for all drivers, and it really has set the tone for the rest of the race. Obviously, like I said, these guys come out to win. The battles are on. You know, if they can't make the gains in there earlier in the race, which we unfortunately missed on camera, but could not really get away from McIndoe's car with any sort of wholesale gain, and until he got that thing in the pits, and the pit crew made the gain for him. So yeah, well done to John McDonald's pit crew, actually. You know, golf claps all round for you boys. We've had Steve Melling and Ashley Vediger just having a ding-dong throughout the... Now Ash Vediger out in front of Steve Melling, and, you know, like I mentioned about McDonald and McIndoe not being able to stretch that lead, Ashley has been more than capable, you know, once in front of Steve Melling, stretched the lead nicely. Car looks fantastic, looks solid. We've been in car already once tonight with Ash Vediger, and super smooth at the wheel, and which is a perfect way to be in a Ferrari at Laguna Seca, and it shows right here. He's holding down fifth position with very little to no threat. We only have a little, just a little over 2 minutes, viewers. My God, just 30. I'm hoarse. I'm gonna lose my voice. 30 minutes of Davo plus Davo tonight for you guys. When too much Davo is not enough. You've got me. And I just saw a little sneaky peek of Jess Burst just having another bit of a wriggle down through that corkscrew area. It doesn't look like he's happy with the balance of that car in that massive elevation drop that is the corkscrew, and we've seen him have a couple of little off-track excursions there already. Nothing too major, not position losing, you know, failures, but all the same, not ideal for outright pace and lap time. So yeah, well done to Jeff. Mate, the guy's holding that fourth position. Who am I to say how good his driving is? So yeah, well done, Jeff. Nick McIndoe in third, John McDonald in second, and Jake McKellar well out in front. This is the final minute of the race. We will scroll through the rest of the field. Ashley Vediger in fifth, Steve Melling in sixth, Mark Mudgeway in seventh. Go Mudgy. Eighth, Brad Robinson. Aaron Enright in ninth. Troy Wilson in 10th. Bobby Laycock in 11th, mate. Go hard. Aztec in 12th. Good to have him back on track. Vaughan Martin in 3rd. And that pretty well rounds it out. So, I just noticed Vaughan Martin's car is back in the pits. Not sure what's going on there. We are getting getting close to the end of this race. There's a notification for the leader on the final lap, comes across on my headset. Jake McKellar, what do we say? I mean, this guy is just going from strength to strength lately. Dominated the GT3 season. He's just got into these GT4s. J-Man and I have had discussions about, you know, whether he was just going to able to really grab these cars and keep that run of success. They're a totally different animal to drive compared to a GT3 car. The aero's not there, the brakes aren't there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. They're just a different car. We did question whether he was going to be able to take, you know, that drive and that success on the GT4s, and he's clearly doing it. Yeah, so well worth the watch. John McDonald in second. Who is getting close, I think, is Brad Robinson and Aaron Enright, just coming around up the hill towards the corks. But we must go back. Final corner for Jake McKellar. Start to finish, mate, can't go wrong. John McDonald makes up for his mistake on his start, gets second position back from Nick McIndoe. John McDonald literally went back 2 positions at the start of the race. Jeff Burse coming across for fourth. Aztec was one of those guys that got John McDonald in before turn 1. So yeah, well done to get that back. Ashley Bediger, 5th position, awesome in the golf car. It's not the golf car, the golf-inspired livery car. The Castrol car from Steve Melton. Mudgee in the privateer. White, stark white. Ferrari, well done, Mudgee. Aaron Enright in 8th position. Brad Robinson, nice work, Brad. He's done well the last couple of rounds in 9th position. Troy Wilson in 10th. Bobby Laycock in 11th. Aztec from bloody penthouse to shithouse for Aztec. Went from 3rd in the first few laps, back down to 11th. Had a tough old kick, Aztec. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, Vaughan Martin back in the pits. I think they're having a good hard look at that Ferrari. Something's going on there. So that rounds it out, everyone. Okay, so it's time for driver interviews. Davo's not one for driver interviews, but let's just give it a crack anyway. Who do we got to get up here first? I think it's Nick McIndoe. Let me see if I can do this.
User was moved to your channel.
Good afternoon. And that too. Solo. Shit. Cool. No, I slipped off the road. I think it was turn 1 maybe. Tyre pressures were way too low for that whole race, so yeah, she was a bag of shit, but we brought her home, so yeah. Yeah, shit, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, held it. Always go better when there's a carrot in front of me, but held it. Yeah, until the pit stops. I had a bit of a shit pit stop, and he come out in front and pretty much pulled away. So yeah. Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, I think so. Yep. But he had a little bit for me anyway. So. Yeah. Too close. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, hopefully. Cool. Cheers, Peps. See you. throw me away.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Hello. Yep. Got me? Thank you. Thank you. Had to work for it. Yeah. No. It was funny because I was on the warm-up lap and I was like, first gear, it goes 69 kilometres an hour. Oh, that's bloody fantastic. There's a speed limit 70. So I just held it in first gear, just on the limiter. So it was staying under the 70 k's. But by the time the lights went green and I pulled second gear, it wasn't the quickest launch. And I just went backwards faster than I went forward. So I won't be doing that again.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. I've just had word that my comms dropped out a little bit there. So, yeah, look, fantastic. And look, I noticed once you got in front of Nick there, back in front of Nick, back where you probably should have been, was you couldn't quite get away from him on track.
No, the gap just maintained, and I think the cars are so evenly matched with us. Our lap times, I guess, we're all doing nearly identical lap times. So once any gap gets made at the start, whether or not someone's holding someone else up, and the leading car gets ahead, that gap just maintains, providing they don't make a mistake. So you're just relying on a mistake or a good or bad pit stop from the others. So, but tough track, man. You got to work hard here.
Oh, you do, and it looks. It's weird because it doesn't look like you're working hard from here, but I know from driving the track you do. And like you mentioned, hard to make ground on track. Got to make it in the pit stop, and you did that with a good clean pit stop. Nick had a bit of an ordinary one, and there was the gain. And then
I still got a drag back in the pit stop, so I still can't nail it. But hopefully we'll get one.
Okay,
we'll get one this time. Hopefully.
Keep practicing. Awesome to speak to you tonight. Again, JB, we'll pop you back up with the rest of the boys, and good luck for race 2.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Jake McKellar, we got comms?
Yeah, mate. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, mate. I'm flying solo tonight, so not one for driver interviews, but here I am. At least my mic's working this time, because I don't think it was working for Nick, before. It's okay. He can hear me and you can hear me, but the bloody Twitch viewers can't. Anyway, that's a Davo problem. Fantastic race, mate. Go to woe. Just walked away.
Yeah. Seen the boys battling behind me,
Yes.
so obviously that allowed me to step up a little bit and pull away, which was good. And then I could just concentrate on getting my marks, and that was it. Really, for the whole race.
Yeah, you really didn't have to look back. I mean, the mistakes were made very early behind you, with John, totally blowing his start, and then getting swamped by Nick and Aztec, and from there, because they were just at it. You just had the whole track in front of you, didn't you, mate? So.
Yeah, definitely good. I was having a good old peek once in a while at how far behind they were, but it didn't really do much. So I had to concentrate on my pit stop, obviously, because it's a bit of a tricky one.
The entry, so tight, isn't it?
Not just that, but the exit's a bit crazy.
The
car just goes sideways, drifting around there.
And painfully long, it's just...
100%.
So, I think they make it a little bit extra slippy just because there's so much sand around here or something. Apparently, anyway. Okay, look, awesome effort tonight, Jake, as usual, mate. We've just seen you going strength to strength, week to week lately, mate. It's awesome. I no doubt we'll be talking to you in half an hour's time, even if you've got a few pies in the back. Awesome work, mate. You go and have a break, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Thanks for that. Cheers.
No worries. Thanks, Joe.
User was moved out of your channel.
There you go, viewers. Sorry for these slight mic interruptions. It seems as though my little Twitch thing here bugs out a little bit, or my something is bugging out here a little bit. But we're onto it. The tech team's onto it. There it is. That wraps race 1, round 4. Good work from the top 3. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be back for race 2 quali, round 4, Laguna Seca in a Ferrari. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back.
disconnected. Connected. Channel switched. Connected. Connected. Channel switched.
Test. Thank you everyone for being so patient with Davo tonight. Good evening and welcome back to the official coverage of the 2022 DLC GT4 Cup. The boys are in qualifying. You have been watching Steve Melling for the last 5 minutes as Davo has struggled to get his mic working. The technical boys have been all over it. It's been just crazy back here at the office. Hang on, that's probably way too loud anyway, so we'll turn that back down. There you go, qualifying's over. We are going to try and get some sort of normality back here. So we will start just talking about fastest lap times. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Jake McKellar currently with the best time of 25.9. Wow, very, very fast. Nick McIndoe, no surprise, in second position with 26.4. John McDonald, again, no surprise, 26.5. Mudgy, 26.5.2, very close to John. That is a battle royale waiting to happen for race 2. The qualifying is over. We have the double zeros. It's as the boys will start to roll into the pit. We are all good to go. Well, the boys are on track anyway. Davo's a little bit of, in all sorts here, obviously. Trouble with mics. And my bestie, my wingman, not here tonight, unable to make it, unfortunately. So, driving the bus solo tonight. Yes. So everyone down at the back, welcome viewers, welcome everybody to ASRNZ's Twitch. We must thank ABC Tech. We also must thank Superior Joint Settling, our 2 major sponsors, for obviously bringing this production to you again. I'd like to thank Davo for helping out tonight, and Davo for making it tonight when other people couldn't. So Davo and Davo Inc. we should call it, like Davo and Davo Incorporated. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave that with you. Put it in the comments. But we are going to go to race 2 any moment. I'm going to need to crack a drink because I'm getting a little bit croaky already. I'm sort of doing a job for 2 people here at the moment. There's the points up again. Now, just remember that Jake McKellar will be carrying some pies. John McDonald will be carrying some pies, and Nick McIndoe as well. So those boys will be carrying some weight into this next race. And like we saw last week, and also maybe not so much in the Porsches. The Porsches seem to handle the weight pretty well, but the Lamborghinis definitely suffer from it. Yes, watch this space. Let's see how the Ferrari goes with a little bit of weight. Let me just grab a glass of water, maybe not water. Let me just grab a glass of something here, and we'll get you some vision as the boys just get on track now. Okay, so we are prepared. Well, I think so. As prepared as I can be when we are driving solo tonight. We love it. We've got about a minute to go before the boys start on their formation lap. Everyone's out on grid. I think we even have Damien Jones also joining the grid, so those boys have worked out whatever that problem was. Also, we have Vaughan Martin on grid after not quite finishing the last race when in a fairly reasonable position. So he's actually got himself back into a nice mid-pack. Oh, well, not quite mid-pack. It's better. It's top 5. So we've got 30 seconds to go. Let's see if we can get some vision. So, there we go. The clock ticks over. The boys will start to roll away for their formation lap. This is race 2, round 4 at Laguna Seca in the Ferraris here tonight. Fantastic, iconic track. Beautiful car to drive too, mind you. It's probably one of the few cars I have driven in ACC. The Merc's probably my favourite, but I don't really drive much else. But the Ferrari, very nice car, iconic track, beautiful stuff. We've got one more round after this. Very short series here for the ASRNZ DLC GT4 series. Viewers, thanks again for joining us tonight on Twitch. It's Davo and Davo, yes, and the boys, all 13 of them, are just getting themselves wound up and G'd for race 2. The points will be close. The points will be close. We currently, running into this round, had John McDonald and Nick McIndoe with equal points. Given what happened the last race and potentially what's going to happen this race, these guys could still be on equal points. So that's a race to watch right there, even if they're not close together. Up to the notorious part of Laguna Seca, the corkscrew, the famous corkscrew, as Jake McKellar starts winding his way down that massive elevation change. the boys start to line up and get gridded. Second of 2 30-minute races tonight. We had 4 race 2. Getting into formation, getting into position. Looks like they're Aztec back in 7th this time, not so close to the top mark. Mudgy in 4th. So come round. Very difficult corner to stay gridded up. They've got a little bit of a run down the straight here so they can get themselves in order here. The helicam getting some great photos, some vision here. We're just about to go green. There we go. We are racing. McIndoe this time, slightly slow on the start. Gives McDonald the advantage down the inside. Can he make anything of it? It'll force him to the outside in turn 2, 3. Again, a very orderly start. The whole pack, once again. Nice work. Look at these guys. Really does set a standard for the rest of the race. Aztec and Steve Melling side by side. Ash Vediger just bringing up the rear there. Puts his Golf Ferrari on the inside there. Not quite enough to take on Melling. As they run up to Corkscrew. The ever famous Corkscrew is McIndoe. Puts himself on the inside. Forces the issue. McDonald in 3rd. Watching it all happen from the inside of the Ferrari. Just looking, waiting for that little tiny mistake. McKellar holds it together. What a fantastic transaction between those guys. Super smooth. Awesome work as they run across the line for lap 1. Fantastic. Aztec trying to slot in between Mudgy, Vaughan Martin. Gave Vaughan probably a little bit of a squeeze. No contact. Gave Ashley the advantage. Very close. It's a lot closer than race 1. These guys are looking for a pass early on. Very difficult to make time. Up on the track as Vaughan Martin goes in front of Ash Vediger. No contact. I think the boys are getting back onto that one. So out of the car. I think they're picking it up out of Ash Vediger's car behind Vaughan Martin. Like I said, these guys are looking for position. It's not quite as orderly as the first race. Vaughan Martin just, a little bit of ripple strip and just gets on the loud pedal a little too much. Turns the car into the wall. Unfortunate for that. Drop back into this Mudgy Aztec battle. Aztec done really well. I think he started in 7th. He's up 2 positions already into 5th and looking for another scalp in Mudgy's privateer white Ferrari. What's he got out of the back? Behind him, Mudgy here, we see Aztec, we see Ashley Vediger, we see Jeffro, we see Steve Melling. All the major players in the mid-pack, and we get out the front, and what do we see here? We see Jake McKellar, we see Nick McIndoe, and we see John McDonald. All the major players at the top end of the field. Which position would you like to be in? Leave a comment. But I think Mudgy right here is in the perfect spot. He's got a little bit of fresh air between the guys behind and the guys in front, although Aztec stretching his legs, he's coming to hunt for him. And he's just in pouncing distance if anything happens in front of him. We are only 3 laps in or so. The field is still very top. Bit of a gap back down to the back. I'm just wondering whether the camera guys may have missed out the back. Unfortunately, only 2 sets of eyes here tonight. Viewers, it's just Davo's and Davo's eyes. So, you know, that's it. You know, you got one on one side and one on the other, you know. So I might miss the odd thing. But what we can see is the battle going up on the front and the ensuing battle that is behind Mudgee in Jeff Burst, Ashley Rediger, Steve Melling also thrown in the mix, and Aztec. And it is on. It is on like Donkey Kong, as the kiddies would say. As they roll up the hill, Ash Rediger, Jeffro in tow, down. And Jeffro had a couple of little off-track excursions up at the top of the corkscrew in race 1, but no such luck now. He's got that thing dialed in nicely. We actually heard from Nick McIndoe mentioning in post-race interviews how his tyre pressures really suffered in race 1, and look at how tight this is. McIndoe's made a mistake. McIndoe's back in the clutches of Mudgee. Mudgee's got him. You've got to go back, have a look. See if we can pick this up. Now, here we go. We got this. Oh, McIndoe. Very sideways, down off the bottom of the... Oh, just the slightest of wriggles there. Puts Mudgee straight up beside him. Ash Rediger having a crack at Aztec as well in the same stretch of track. Things change so rapidly here, especially early in the race. These guys are close. They are fighting position way more than they were in race 1. So again, this allows Jake McKellar to just stretch away. He just every now and then, like he said, has a quick look in the mirror, checks out where they're all way back there, and he carries on. And Ashley Rediger's again, that smooth as silk style Ash has got. Look at this, it is so silky smooth on the wheel. He's up beside ex-teammate and good friend Aztec. But he's in early. Nice, looking for a big undercut. Look at how tight, how much lock Ashley's got to wind on to that to get it into the pit. So Ashley, Jeffro in as well. So 2 early stops. Mudgee has McIndoe. McIndoe wants that position back, no doubt. So the slightest of mistakes from McIndoe then. Had a little bit of a wriggle out of the left-hander that was the second, pretty well the last corner of the corkscrew. Just the slightest of wriggle, it just put him offline into the right-hander, the second to last corner, and that was all it took. Mudgee was all over it. Who's next in line for Mudgee? It's John McDonald. As they roll up the hill. Head towards the infamous corkscrew again. Look at the cars, they look fantastic as they drop off there. Beautifully rendered tracks and lovely stuff from ACC again. The cars look fantastic, the track looks fantastic. What a beautiful package. Streams well, nice and smooth. That is the McIndoe car into the pit. Only 2 so far in. Ash Rediger and Jeff Burst, no penalties. McIndoe in. I'd say McIndoe wanted to get out of that traffic. He was right in amongst it. McDonald, all he can see is Mudgy in his mirrors. Mudgy's gained a lot of ground on him. He's really put that car up behind him, and all I can see in the distance is Jake McKellar driving away. One thing to note though, who is that behind him? Who was that behind him? That is Aztec. Aztec started in 7th position, I'm sure, on the grid at the start of race 2 here. He started in, I think, 3rd or 4th in race 1 and got himself to 3rd very quickly with a faux pas from John McDonald. But look at Aztec now, straight away on the back of Mudgy's car. We've got a drive-through for McIndoe. We've got a drive-through for Damien Jones. Here we go. We've got Aztec on the back of McDonald. We've got Mudgy into the pits. It's all happening, viewer. There's action aplenty. The drive-throughs, I'm sure the drive-throughs are for exceeding track style infringements. Where they're picking them up, I'm not quite sure, but the drive-throughs are definitely from pit infringements. It's Mudgy quickly off the jacks and out to the board, and he gets going again. McIndoe in, no doubt, to serve that drive-through immediately and get it out of the way. It puts, I think that's Ashley Rediger, actually, the Ashley Rediger Golf Ferrari. Yes, rolling past. Oh, tough gig for Nick. Will be kicking himself. He's been so in touch with this, the top end of this championship, and that will hurt. That will hurt a lot. Ashley Rediger now has that Mudgy car, that white privateer Ferrari. Although it has no livery, although it has no sponsors, it's still got that tenacious Mudgy in behind the wheel. And that's all that counts. Chasing Rediger. Aztec chasing McDonald. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk that Aztec would have gone back so far in race 1? But who would have thought that he would have come back through the field so quickly here in R2? Great work from Aztec. We've got Vaughan Martin in the pits. We have Damien Jones, I think, is out for the night. They've had trouble with that Ferrari all evening. Clearly not getting it sorted yet. As Aztec thinks he's in the D server, the drift server behind McDonald. We've got to have a look at that. Unbelievable. Get a load of this. Oh, super sideways with the back wheels out in the sand. I'm speechless. That is so hard to gather a car like this on that corner at that angle. Most people would end up in the wall on the left-hand side of the track on the infield in a blink of an eye. So, again, Aztec showing his drifting skills. Well done, Aztec there, to keep that pointing in the right direction and to carry on the fight with John McDonald. These guys both unpitted. We are pitted up to, I think, position, as you can see actually, viewers on screen on our leaderboard, up to Ashley Rediger there. You can see the green boxes. They're the guys that have pitted. Everybody from Enright up to Jake McKellar still yet to pit with the number 1 beside their box. Look at how quickly Aztec has recovered from that little slide earlier and is now back all well over the rear of that Ferrari. A couple other little close battle did spot here, and here's one of them. Is Bobby Laycock and Aaron Enright. These guys doing a fantastic, geez, that was close. And that kink doesn't look much as they run up to the corkscrew, but I tell you, when you're driving it, there ain't a lot of room just in that little tiny kink, so because you really would need to get that car sorted out before you drop, like I said, into that corkscrew, as we see Enright dip out to the pit. We also have Aztec in the pits. Aztec actually just quickly rolling out. See the Mudgy car, Ash Vedica car. I think that was also Brad Robinson, I'd say, as well, slipped past. Now the Ash Vedica and Mudgy car are probably the two most notable. That has put him back probably into about, I don't know, 5th or 6th position outright once equalised. So we'll need to watch that. Aaron Enright just trundling out now. Might just see where he pops out, but I think he was really in contention with anyone really close. We would have to wait for Bobby Laycock to pit to just see where the outcome of that comes. And talking about Bobby Laycock has loads of flamethrowers going in the back of him from Ashley Reddick. Also, Mudgy ready to pick up the pieces if Ash doesn't get the job done. Laycock peels off into the drop back into Mudgy. Mudgy's car, we see Ash just go this tiny little bit wide, puts him out on the exit of the corner. As we see Steve Melling also just leaving the pits. These guys going really hard. Good solid racing. That is Aztec. Now they will be holding each other up just a little with this toing and froing. It will allow Aztec just to gain on those two cars. Mind you, all of these guys have pitted so far, so this is for true position, on track position. So they will be working hard to keep that all together. Mudgy's been doing a fantastic job tonight, mind you. Had a little bit of a biff and a barge with the John McDonald car earlier, but really looking to form Ash again. Like we've been in Ash's car a couple of times tonight already, and he's just super silky smooth on the wheel, and really doing a nice job overall. Nice pace, good smooth driving, staying out of trouble. That's the key. We have Brad Robinson in the pits. Beautiful, beautiful turquoisey style green. It's almost like a metallic British racing green. Ran very similar paint code for his Lamborghini last week and did a fantastic job as the boys roll past. Not an overly quick pit stop by the looks of it for Brad Rob. As we poke up the front, and let's just have a look. Jake doesn't get a lot of airtime when he's so far out in front, so we'll give him a little bit right now as we thank ABC Tech again for all our service and everything internet for ASRNZ. Like I mentioned in race 1, without ABC Tech, you wouldn't find us. We wouldn't have these servers. We wouldn't be racing tonight. So let's thank it, ABC Tech, for making all this possible, and of course Superior Joint Sealing as a major sponsor for all racing here, as usual at ASRNZ. Welcome viewers. It is round 4. We're at Laguna Seca. We're in Ferraris, as you can see on screen tonight. John McDonald's in second position. Ash Vediger, pitted car, and in third position, and has probably stretched the legs a little bit on Mudgee. So he, given no space. Viewers, look at the time. It is literally just over 10 minutes to go. So, given a good clean run, Ash has got a podium position locked down. Mudgee in fourth, Aztec in fifth, Steve Belling in sixth, Jeff Burse seventh. McIndoe, tough gig for Nick with a drive-through tonight for race 2 in 8th. Troy Vaughan Martin in 9th, Aaron Enright in 10th, Bobby Laycock in 11th, Brad Robinson in 12th, and I think the Damien Jones car is actually being rolled onto the transporter as we speak. So Jake McKellar in the background. As we see flames spit from the back of the car, they've got to get these things down to speed and get them in. McDonald stays out. Very tight pit entry, and like the boys mentioned, it's just incredibly long pit exit. Very slippery pit exit, mind you, as well. They actually get off the pit limiter quite early, but they've still got to roll down a very pit exit lane, which is quite slippery under full speed. So very, very tricky as Jake comes out. So I doubt he will have any threat from what would be second position after John McDonald goes in, which will be Ash Vediger. So Ash Vediger, again, like I mentioned only moments ago, given no mistakes, that man is sitting and looking, staring down at a podium finish tonight. As we see Melling run a little wide in one, Jeffro just scoops it up immediately. There's no mistaking there. Was just close enough to get the nose of his Ferrari down there and just put the Castrol car out of its misery and back into 7th position. So well done for Jeff Burse. McDonald into the pits. This is one we will have to watch. I think pretty sure McKellar had his measure. McKellar coming up with the final turn. John McDonald only just up on the jacks. He's off though. McKellar coming across. There's no way. John McDonald's half a K pit exit to go. Will he stay in front of Ash Vediger? He doesn't. Ash Vediger, Mudgee, Aztec, look at them all. Here we go. McDonald. Does he get out in front of Aztec? This is close stuff. As McDonald's just immaculate pit crew just failed him there or what? Or has he just had some untidy in-lap action going on there? But whatever the case, the reality that he has lost his podium position to Aztec in 4th and Mudgee in 3rd now, and Ashley Vediger in 2nd. So Ash just must be cheering at the moment with what? Oh, look, we've got a little over 6.5 minutes to go. This is really changed up. This is unexpected, to be honest. I wouldn't have thought that group of cars would have pretty well done a backflip in those pit stops then. But look, here we are, viewers. We're watching it. We're watching it live. And that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, well done to, well, for starters, Ash, for just driving a superbly clean race. Obviously, he's nailed his pit stop. Mudgee as well. And Aztec, who, like, pretty sure I've mentioned before, started in 7th position. He's got himself into 4th. So, fantastic work from Aztec there. he does have the next 5.5 odd minutes to keep John McDonald out, mind you. But that, you know, that's an Aztec problem. Let's have a quick look at what Steve Milling's doing. Jeff Burse got past him with a little tiny mistake, and he really hasn't looked back, and it's kept moving forward. Nick McIndoe back in 8th. Troy, as I think his car's on the transport as well. Aaron Enright in 9th. Bobby Laycock is very close with Brad Robinson here as they drop into the final corner. Brad Robinson damn near taking evasive action, probably coming a little bit hot. As they roll down into turn 1, such an undulating track. The elevation changes here are awesome, and it really does show on screen here as they flip over the start-finish line and over that crest down into T1. The pit window has now closed. I hear the official confirmation, and as you can see, viewers, by all the green boxes, that all the boys have done their pit stops. There is no penalties ensuing for any, so we are all good to go. Let's look at and see where all the action is. It's definitely not up the front. Jake McKellar has got a good, healthy lead, but in saying that, you don't have to look too far behind on the cameras to see the Ash Rediger car. You can see the Mudgeway car, you can see the McDonald car. They're all very, very close. So nice work from Jake again. 4 minutes to go. Ash Rediger, look, he'll be stoked. You know, he's really done a stellar job tonight. Mate, we've been in the car a couple of times, Ash, and you know, we're watching, you know, just your style of driving. It's super smooth, and you know, you deserve more more podiums than you probably get, brother. But yeah, super smooth and really taking on Laguna and the Ferrari really, really well. Nice stuff. He's actually up on his lap time, his best lap time at the moment. Mudgy, again, stellar job tonight. He's been a little bit up and down, but always sort of up that pointy end of the field. Aztec has just been going from, you know, like penthouse to shithouse to penthouse again. Amazing job all over the place. Just always there, always in the action, as usual. Even drifting sometimes, because you can, and it's Laguna. They love it over there. John McDonald, 5th place. He'll be disappointed, I think, with his 5th place at this stage. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go. I doubt he will get a position change there unless there's something dramatic goes on, which could still happen, viewers, because we know it's ASRNZ. We know what happens at the end of the race, you know, towards the end. This stuff always ramps up. So Mudgy and Aztec could, or obviously, change that. We've got Nick McIndoe in 8th, Steve Milling in 7th, Jeff Burse in 6th, and like I said, John McDonald bringing up in 5th. So we got no one really close. Brad Robinson is in clean air. Bobby Laycock, clean air. Vaughan Martin's in clean air. Boys at the back just going through the motions. You know, we've got just under 2 minutes to go. I suppose the biggest battle is really this Mudgeway Aztec battle, and with probably only maybe a couple of laps to go, it's ramping up, and there could be a position change here. Mudgy trying to hold out 3rd position, so, and in saying that, that means Aztecs fighting to get 3rd position, and it's well worth the fight. That one will go down to the wire, I would suspect, that 3rd position fight. Ash has actually just managed to, with what's going on behind him there, been able to just stretch his legs a little bit, take a few breaths, focus on his times, hitting his marks, and really making that car work. I just saw a couple of laps ago saw that car up on its fastest lap time. So obviously Ash still finding something in that Ferrari and still progressing with his times. So awesome work. Under 40 seconds. Look, we've got 35 seconds to go. Jake McKellar is going to get across the line, I would suspect here, unless he slows right down. 25 seconds, he's going to roll over the line, and we are going to go for another lap. The leader is on the final lap. Ashley Vettiger in second position. These guys will be trying to be so careful, Ash and Jake, but you know what, who's not going to be careful is Aztec and Mudgee. They are going to go head to head for the last lap. John McDonald right behind him, ready to pick up the crumbs if it all turns sour. Jeff Burse in clean air had a great battle with Steve. Got past. Slightest mistake from Steve, but Burse just jumped all over it, and he's stretched. Melling in clean. McIndoe, he'll be devastated with his drive through. Aaron Enright in 9th, Brad Robinson, Bobby Laycock and Vaughan Martin in 12. Jake McKellar down through the corkscrew for the final time, round 4 of the DLC, the 2022 DLC GT4 Cup, the final corner for round 4 at Laguna Seca here. This is race 2. Fantastic work again from Jake. Really just bringing that form that he had in the GT3 straight to the GT4. Was Ashley Vettiger. Mate, golf claps all round for Ashley. Awesome work. Unexpected, but fantastic. Mudgee in 3rd. He holds that for 3rd position. So Aztec and John McDonald in 5th. I think his pit stop let him down. Jeff Burse in 6th across the line. Steve Melling in 7th. Nick McIndoe. Oh, God, I've said it a few times in the last few minutes, but Nick, so tough. Aaron Enright in 9th. As he just brings the car down and off the corkscrew, down into that final complex of corners and around that hairpin. Done a nice job tonight, stayed out of trouble relative. I think we might have missed a little bit of an incident early in race 2 there, because the field spread at the back quite dramatically early on. Brad Robinson running out the 10. Bobby Laycock 11th, well done, famous Bobby. And Vaughan Martin rounds out the field in 12th position, well done Vaughan. Just send it, brother. Nice work. So, awesome work. There you go. Round 2 is done and dusted. Round 4, should I say, race 2 is done and dusted here at Laguna Seca in the Ferraris. Look, I'll try this again. Because my mic did drop out earlier, but I think the technical crew, they might have fixed it, in the interim. So let's just give this another. We'll go to the post-race interviews and just wish me luck, viewers. So let's see what we can work out here.
User was moved to your channel.
Mudgee. We got comms on, brother.
Yeah, copy.
Mate, what a crazy race. Did you think you were going to end up in 3rd at the start of that race?
Oh, I think you know the answer to that.
Because it literally you 4 guys from 3rd down to whatever it was, 6. You guys just literally mirrored, swapped over after the pit stops. It was crazy.
Yeah. No, it was a good race. I had a really good race with Ash. He drove really well. Like he was consistently.
He did.
Yeah, he was going wide on a couple of corners, and
Yep.
I was like, "Oh, I might have you." And then I started doing the same thing on the same corner, and he drove away.
Yeah. Oh, well, you were copping a little bit of heat from Aztec.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the end there. So
I wanted to talk to you, mate. So I was like, nah. I'm hanging on to this. I want to talk to Peps.
Yeah, so Aztec, you can stay back there. So.
Yeah. I know he wanted it too. I know.
I know he wanted to be up here as well. So, we'll bugger him. You got the first dibs at the fridge. Well, how was your race anyway? Like, just from your point of view, how'd you go? Start was good?
Yep, start was good. Had a good run. Nick pitted early.
Yes.
So I thought, he was behind me, so I thought I'd pit and I'll try and cover him. But then I think he got a drive through.
He got a drive through. Yeah, that pretty well killed his race.
Yeah, and then I came out, and then all of a sudden I was behind Ash. I was like, where did you come from?
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And then I was on from there the whole race.
What the hell? John's behind me. Yes, everyone's behind you all of a sudden. So.
Yeah, and then I was racing with Ash, and then I was just wondering where JB was going to pop out, but the BOP really hurt those guys.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
That's our saviour. We got up there because of that, really. But Jake obviously still managed with it.
Yeah, no, look, which is crazy, look, because it can be done. You can manage it, but look, we saw John come out and like he just came out into the clutches at Aztec, and so you had a little bit of wriggle room in front of him. Right. So, but that's what it's all about. That's why we have BOP. That's why we chuck the pies in, mate.
Yeah,
because it keeps it all interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm normally a critic of it. I don't normally like it, but I'll give it this time.
Well, here you are, third position. You got to give it some credit, mate. So.
Yeah. Oh, the car was a bag of shit, though. To be honest with you, Peps, I didn't really enjoy the car.
Yep. Was it? So what was it? Understeer? Was it loose? What was it about it? You weren't happy with?
All above.
Yeah, everything, just everything. Across the board.
Yeah.
Just a piece of shit.
No, I didn't like the way you had to almost slide the car to get it to go around the corners and into the corners, and I really don't like that. I like a nice flowing car.
Yeah. Okay. So it had to be aggressive to make it work, basically.
Yeah, it had to be aggressive, and then you had to find you had to find that real point where you couldn't overdrive it. So I really struggled with it. Yeah. It
makes for a lot of concentration, doesn't it? You know, like over the race, and that's when mistakes happen too, isn't it? You know, like
mate, that first race, I was just. I hope you didn't put the camera on me because I was overshooting it everywhere. I was terrible.
There might have been a little bit here and there, but not a lot.
Yeah. I really don't like driving like that either, Paps. I like being consistent and I like being smooth, and when I can't get the car to do that, I get frustrated.
You get
don't like it.
Yeah. And then the race gets away from you, doesn't it? Because you lose your concentration, don't you?
You do. You're thinking about it too much, and you're not in your rhythm, and just certain cars, not everyone has their cars that they bond to, and I don't bond to the Ferrari. I just don't know what it is about it, but I just don't like it.
It just is what it is, mate.
That's the beauty of the series, that everyone gets a bit of car that they may excel in. Obviously, Ash really excelled in that car in that race. So
yeah, and some of the boys excelled in the Lamborghinis the other week, and obviously Porsches the week before, blah blah blah. But at least everyone's in the same boat, which is good. Everyone's driving the same animal, which is an awesome thing. So keeps everything nice and close, mate. Look, it's awesome to have you up here, brother. I hope you like the stream. Davo's flying solo tonight, so
I didn't realise. So
Davo plus Davo equals Davo.
Oh, one happy Davo.
Yes. Well, there might be three of us here, but anyway. Look,
thanks, Babs.
Enjoy the stream. I'll talk to you hopefully next week.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, bro.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
User was moved out of your channel.
Okay, I've got my mic still. Okay, I need to get someone else up here. Who's Ashley?
User was moved to your channel.
Babs, how are you, mate? Thank you. No, neither did I, to be perfectly honest, but the cars felt pretty good all week, but starting 9th, I wasn't expecting to end up second, no, so... No, and I sort of bunched up behind everybody at the start there, and I was keeping pace, and I thought, well, I'll pit early and try and get out and see what happens. So it worked. Yeah. Yeah, I'd already overtaken Nick in the pit, so when we got in their spot, but I'm not quite sure how I jumped everybody, but I'll take it. But it's... No. It felt good in that race. You had to drive it smoothly with a little bit of back end sliding to get it to go quickly.
Yep.
Which seemed to suit my driving style, which is good. But I pushed so hard, I overheated the rear tyres out at one stage, and then I came up behind Bob, and Mudgy tried to mug me at that time. But then Bob pitted, and I could sort of tried to drive nice and smoothly, so get the back tyres under control again, and I managed to pull away a little bit. So, no, mate, I'm absolutely wrapped.
Look, I'm stoked for you too, mate. I've been flying solo tonight. We've had a couple of technical dramas. My mic's been dropping out. I just got notification that I dropped out a little bit there at the beginning of our little interview there, but I'm going to congratulate you again on a second. Like you said, what'd you say? Started from 9th, you know.
Yes.
So, mate, fantastic work, Ash. Yeah, really enjoy watching your race, mate. So, one more round, and
and it's the car I've been looking forward to. That was it's good fun to drive.
That's even better. Yeah, it's a cool little car actually. Not a lot of power, but fantastic handling. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, classic, like lightweight sports car. So, can't wait.
Me either. All right. Thank you for doing the stream all on your lonesome.
Awesome. No worries. It's a pleasure. Thanks, Ash.
Cheers, mate.
Okay.
User was moved out of your channel.
Okay, still a few little technical gremlins. Sorry, guys, if my mic's dropping out every now and then. It's a bit of a one-sided conversation, unfortunately. But look, we're going to try it again. We're going to get Jake McKellar down here and see if we can have another go at it.
User was moved to your channel.
Okay, I think I've got this time. Jake, we on?
Hello.
Jake, oh good. I can hear you. My mic keeps dropping out on the stream. So, but we've got you. Everybody can hear me. Congratulations, another win, mate. Even with the pies on board, mate. How do you manage this?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Actually, the quali was mean. Didn't really feel like I had anything, but I felt it in the start of the race. I was getting some good exits out of the corners, and the guys were still catching me pretty quick. So I was just lucky again after a few laps. It was pretty close there with Nick. It was a good race in there, and just after a few laps they started to drop back.
Yeah.
And then went into the pits, came out, still 4 to 5 seconds ahead.
You
so
were
I was sort of
well
relaxing
clear.
for a bit, and then but with about 3 or 4 laps to go, I noticed Ashley was catching me quite fast. So I was well, better do something. Had to put my head down, because he was flying.
Yeah, no, he was well comfy, and it came up on my obviously we got different data to what like the viewers are seeing on screen, and I could see him getting his quickest laps, and you could see that he had more in that car, and he was getting very comfortable on a clean clean air track, and he definitely did, squeeze that gap up. So
yeah, I guess I was a bit lucky that he was in a battle, so sort of hold him back a little bit. But once they dropped off him, he was onto it.
He was onto it.
I had to get going, and he got. I see he got the fastest lap too. That's cool. Man.
Yeah. No, definitely. All kudos. And look, I just talked to him, and who would have thunk? I think he started in 9th or something. He's come back to 2nd position, but it just shows you how freaking crazy the racing here is sometimes. With the pit stops. We had a couple of boys with drive-throughs. I don't think it was any 30-second stop goes this time, but just things can just so flip on their head, can't they? In a 30-minute race, like when everybody's driving the same car.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I had a pretty good pit stop. I did nothing wrong in mine, and it just goes to show the pies do work. Yeah,
it does. That's exactly right, and we'll continue to do so for at least one more round. And I think we're in the Janettas at who is that? Snetterton? Is it Snetterton?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
somewhere like that.
Bit of fun there.
Yeah. And are you a fan of the Janetta yourself?
To be honest, I haven't really driven it at all. I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, well there
Something
you go.
New for me. So
there you go, viewers. It might be worth a watch next week. Watch Jake McKellar struggle with a Janetta. Everyone. But yeah, look, awesome again to watch you tonight. Just dominating, mate. So awesome work, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
No worries. Look forward to talking to you next week.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake McKellar.
User was moved out of your channel.
Okay, I've got Mike. You can still hear me, viewers. This is Davo with Davo, and I think we've got Davo on technical support. That's why the mic's a bit effed up all night. We've got Davo in the technical room, and we've got Davo down in the pits, and Davo up here. And anyway, you've heard enough of me. I'm hoarse. You can hear my voice already. It's just going, just weird. Anyway, we've got one more round. Round 5 next week. Hopefully, my good friend and wingman will be back to help me through what is going to be an epic race in the Janettas at Snetterton. It's one of the, I think it's Snetterton is the fastest average speed track in the UK. Super quick. So should be freaking awesome, viewers. Thanks for joining Davo and Davo tonight. Even with all the mic dramas, mate, I really enjoyed it, and I have too. Thanks, Davo. So we'll see you all next week, and hopefully there's another voice just to dull down this. Anyway, good. Thanks for viewing, everyone.